It's Thursday, it's Morning Joe and the Pro. We're about to have a name change and I'm excited. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Big show today, great show today. We've got Tony Finn with us and mid-major Matt from sportsmemo.com. I'm going to bring in both the guests. We're going to get right to it. We're looking at one college football game, two baseball games, and we're going to end the show with two NFL games. Matthew, how are you, my friend? Been a while.
Been a while, yes. Ready to go tonight. A little NFL and another full weekend.
You got to watch this show back, Matt, and check out your camera. It's like you're this little head in this big screen. But hey, it's not like you're Drew Martin handsome, so we can live with that. Tony, what's going on, big man?
It's Friday. It's a good day.
It's Thursday. Now I'm very worried about your handicapping.
Every day is Friday when you're my
Nice save,
age.
Tony. Nice save. Guys, let's get straight to college football. We're talking about the Miami game against Syracuse. And really, Matt, I'm just going to go straight to you to start this one. Tell us what you like, brother.
Well, 2 weeks ago, I had the weapons. They've just got to get him some time. This team had 2 weeks to hear about how awful they were in week 0 against Miami of Florida. You know, the Florida schools. I just not buying North Carolina. They got the win over South Carolina. I'm just not buying them after week 1. I think the Mac Brown hire is not a great one. I think they've heard all week about how great they are, and I think North Carolina may not be focused for this one.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Matt. I mean, the line here came out at Miami at -6, and we've seen a lot of smart money come in on North Carolina. We're down to 4.5 at some board, at some places, with the over and under of 47.5. And you know, I watched that North Carolina South Carolina game last week, and you know, I think Mac Brown, just what a bad coach. Ridiculous knee maneuver at the end there. But they did play their heart outs and they did beat South Carolina. But I agree. I think Miami is the play here. I think at -4.5, it looks even better. And I actually like them at -6. So I'm with you there as well. Tony, what are you thinking in this college football game?
I can't play the contrary. I can't play devil's advocate. I agree. Listen, 2 weeks. First off, Matt just mentioned it. 2 weeks matters even this early in the season when you have the kind of time to prepare, and especially after a game that Miami went through and lost. This is not a game where offensively they had against South Carolina. On the other side of the ball, I think the Canes will be more explosive than they were, and I think, as Matt mentioned, Jerron Williams will be better. And really, DJ Dallas is the playmaker. He needs the ball, and I think he'll get it. And the end result in this game, though, Miami defense is a difference. They take over in the second half, and this Miami offense won't snail and shy away from trying to gain yards as South Carolina did in the second half. I like North Carolina as well.
He's Tony Finn.
I like Miami.
He's Tony Finn. He likes Miami. Matt Joseph from Sports Memo. He likes Miami, and so do I. Guys, let's take a quick commercial break. Get back. A little bit of small talk. What's going on over at WagerTalk.com. Talk to you, Matt, about how your college football season has started, and then 2 baseball games and 2 NFL games. Guys, thanks so much for watching Morning Joe and the Pro. We really love having you here every day. Show is so well received. I love all the comments. Sorry about the sound yesterday. Just want to give out a promotion, and really one of the best promotions we've got going, probably ever, really, on this show. We gave it out on the NFL presidential address with Kelly, and it's the same promotion. It's Bobby Ligs NFL season and playoffs for only $399. The regular price on that is $795. So you're getting basically $400 off of Bobby's package. Just head over to WagerTalk.com and use the promo code Bobby399, and that's Bobby399. Now check this out, guys, and I'm going to say this slowly. Bobby Ligs last year in NFL had 49 wins, and 28 losses. He had a net profit of 75% return on his money. Those numbers would make Warren Buffett horny. He went 8-2 in his NFL 5-star plays. Those numbers would make Warren Buffett horny with no release for a month. I'm the Prez. Make sure to head over to WagerTalk.com. Use the promo code Bobby399. Boys, want to take care of some business real quick, and then we'll get straight to the show. The presidential NFL address is up. And Matt, I know you're new to Sports Memo. You're new to the family. You weren't with us last year. The NFL presidential address, it's myself and Kelly. It's a 1-hour-long show. We take apart every single game on the board. Dude, this is so must listen to. It is ridiculous. You are not going to watch a better hour of NFL talk in your life than that show. It's up. It's at our Wager Talk channel on YouTube, Wager Talk TV. As well, the college football betting show is up. That's with Dave Kogan and Teddy Covers, and we take apart 15 college football games. Awesome show as well. What's going on over at WagerTalk.com? Well, super quick. Ralph Michaels, he's the guy to play today in baseball. He's on a 17-8 baseball sides run. He is 11-4 in his baseball 5% side bets, and he has a max 5% play in baseball tonight. And even though for some reason my sales pitch is not in the right place, even though for some reason my NFL game is not up on the front page, nor in the brick, I have an NFL play tonight on the Green Bay-Chicago game. Make sure to get down on that play too. Mid-major, Matt, how did your college football start?
Went 7-4 last week and week 0 as well. 6-2 in my FBS, FCS plays, and that's kind of where I do a lot of my focus, is because there's a lot of value, I think, in those FBS, FCS games. I got a couple winners here coming up this weekend out there. The only problem is, unfortunately, I can't release them until the day of because the casinos are concerned about getting beat in some of those games. So if you're willing to wait, the winners will come Saturday morning in those FBS, FCS games.
You can get your plays at sportsmemo.com, and I'll tell you guys, Matt is ridiculous in college football. Boys, let's get straight to it. We're talking Washington against Atlanta, and a big game, really. Washington 78-60 on the season. Atlanta 86-54. We've got the home team. It's basically a pick 'em, plus 100. Washington is minus 111, and Washington is on fire right now. They've won 5 of their last 7 games, but not to be outdone. Atlanta has won 6 in a row. Tony, you've had a ridiculously good baseball season. Where are you going in this game?
I like this game. This game where we talked a little, Matt and I talked about, I really like Strasburg here. This is a big game. Good day. Matched them almost win for win. The Braves are the best team, or the Nationals are the best team since the All-Star break. I think it's May 24th even. They're 59. I wrote about this team early. I thought they were dead in the water. They were injured. They weren't playing very well. But Strasburg, I'm going to quickly say that I'm going to step out in this game, in a game that is essentially a pick-em at SunTrust against a really good Atlanta team. I like Strasburg, and I like the plus money on the run line, in fact, in this game. Strasburg has pretty much dominated Atlanta this season, and his last time in SunTrust, he hit a home run to help them win. So if you look at this game, you look at these two pitchers, the two starters, does Fried stand up in a game that's going to have a playoff like that? It really is. We know Strasburg will. He's been through a lot in his Major League Baseball career. Really like Strasburg, plus 130, 140 on the run line.
He's Tony Finn. You can get his plays at WagerTalk.com. Mid-major, Matt, what do you like in this game?
Well, as a guy as I've said on several places, I have a live ticket on Strasburg to have the most wins in Major League Baseball. Got it at 60-1 before the season. I really do hope he wins this one. He's got a 3.21 ERA and 5 starts in SunTrust. He hasn't lost to Atlanta in 3 starts this season. I don't trust that bullpen. They've screwed me over twice already this season in Strasburg starts. So maybe I'm looking at the Nats in the first 5-inning type thing, and I could take out Fernando Rodney, and I could take out Sean Doolittle, and just hope Strasburg outduels Fried early on in this one.
Guys, next game I want to talk about, Toronto against Tampa Bay. Toronto, just a disaster, 55-85 on the season. Tampa Bay, 82-59. Tampa Bay has been absolutely rolling. They beat Baltimore 2-0. They've won 6 of their last 7 games. They're in the playoffs as of now, but 2 teams scratching and clawing their way towards them. Minus 200 for the home team, as low as minus 182 in some areas, with a total of 9. I can't play minus 200 with Tampa Bay, but it's literally Tampa Bay or nothing for me. Tony, what are you doing in this game?
It's an interesting game, and I think you make a good point here. How is Austin Pruitt, a kid that's 5'10", 180 pounds, right? Doesn't miss very many bats. He doesn't overpower anybody. He's 30 years old. He's more of a long reliever, in truth, because of his stature, and he's kind of a fragile guy, and his durability. Let's put it this way: his first start, he pitched 5 1/3 scoreless innings in his last start, which was terrific. And maybe this is a select spot for him facing Toronto. But Thornton has faced Tampa 4 times this year, guys. 4 times, and he's given up 14 runs and 23 hits in 11 innings. So now you understand a little bit why Pruitt, a kid who has very little major league experience, has been iffy in triple-double and triple-A, is minus 200. I like the over in this game.
It's funny you say that, Tony, because as I was going to push to Matt, I was going to say that I like the over in this game too. Toronto can put up some runs, and I think they're going to just get hit around the park tonight. We are on the same page there. Matt, what are you thinking in this game?
Well, it won't be on my card probably because I don't really want to watch this game or pay attention to this game on GameCast, but I can see your case for the over. Tampa Bay's offense is really hot and really cold. They score like 4, 5, 6 runs a bunch of games in a row, and then they go ice cold. And you can also say the same for Toronto because they got all the young kids, the Bichette kid and Vlad Jr. and everything. So I can see your over, but then I can also see us saying 1-0, 2-1 in the 7th inning because both offenses went cold in this one.
Yeah.
Great point. With that said, I'm going to the window on the over on this play. Guys, quick commercial break, last one of the show, and then we're right back to discuss the NFL. Hey guys, last commercial we gave out a promo, Bobby $399 for Bobby Ligs' entire NFL season and playoffs. Today, last day of this promotion, Prez 20. I've got a 5-unit play up in the NFL for Sunday. It's an early game. It's $40. You can have it for half price, $20. Use the promo code PREZ, or for some weird reason, Z20. Guys, speaking of Z, I'm a Canadian, and a damn proud one at that. Are there not enough letters in the alphabet that rhyme with E and D and G and V? Did you really need to take Z and make it rhyme with the rest of them? I mean, it's hard enough on the phone when you're giving out your name. V for Victor, E for elephant, G for God. Now we got to add a Z for zebra. Who comes up with this nonsense?
I'll let you handle that one there, Tony.
I have nothing to say to that. Nothing at all. In fact, no, I have nothing to say.
Okay.
All right.
So we've established that we have no idea how it became Z or Z, and now we're going to talk Two NFL games. The first one is Philadelphia hosting Washington. And, I find this game interesting, Tony. Kelly and I delved very deep into this game on the NFL presidential address. And, Kelly really likes Washington in this spot, and I do too. I don't think I'm going to get to the window with this play, but here's my reasoning. We have a +10 on the board for Washington. This is a division rivalry game. And we have seen throughout the history of time, it doesn't matter whether Trent Williams, Trent Dilfer, or any other Trent is the quarterback for Washington. It doesn't matter if it's Hogaboom for the Giants or for Dallas or Danny White or whoever. It never matters how good or bad these teams are. They always play each other close. The NFC East, if I'm going to get 10 points in an NFC East division matchup, I'm going to take it. And not only that, but I think 10 points equates to a offensive run by Philadelphia. And although I think Philadelphia is 10 points better than Washington on a given Sunday, I don't think they're 10 points better on the first Sunday. Offenses are not in full swing right now. And just like I like Cincinnati against Seattle at +9.5 for the same reason, I'm going to take these double-digit dogs in week 1. I like Washington. Tony, where are you going in this game?
Well, before I huff and puff about who I like, I think it's important we remember that Washington was 6-4 in first place in the NFC East last year after 10 games. Alex Smith got hurt, and things went fairly south. Now, I believe that they were 6-4 with some smoke and mirrors.
Yes.
Personally, yeah, I just didn't think they were that good last year, and made a little money on them in the second half. But from the mass exodus of the front office, the Trent Williams situation, they said this has been a crazy offseason period for Washington. Looney, absolutely loony, and I think Matt can attest to that. But Philadelphia is 10 points better. In fact, talent across the board at every position favors Philly. They're at home. Now, numbers in division games in week 1, 10 points is a bad number to lay. It doesn't get covered very much. So I stayed away from this game simply because Washington has no receivers. We're not, their first-round pick and Josh Johnson's gone. We don't know if Jordan Reed's going to be healthy. Can this Washington team not only can defend a little bit, but can they score? That's the question.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And I think they'll struggle to score all year. If you listen to the NFL presidential address, the preview show I did 2 weeks ago, I said Washington was a play to the under team. I also think they have a great defense. They have a good front seven, decent cover. I think they're going to be a hard team to score on. I lean on the under in this game, but man, I'm going to take the points. Matt?
I do have a play in this game on Sports Memo, so I'll give you some information because I covered the Redskins. The training camp is here in Virginia, so I watched them every day during training camp and follow them intently. And of course, I'm an Eagles fan too, so I like to think that I can dabble in this matchup. There's a lot of worry and concern about Carson Wentz being rusty to start. The weapons, there's no doubt. If this was like a Week 8 game, the Eagles would win by 2 touchdowns, 2.5 touchdowns.
Exactly.
The week 1 thing is a concern because, Wentz hasn't played with Deshaun Jackson. He hasn't played with Alshon Jeffrey in a while in a true game that matters. I've said all along, the way the Redskins are going to win games, hand the ball off to Darius Geis 25 times, keep the clock running, play ball control, punt back, and then, let their defense go at it. So if the Redskins give up more than 20 points, they're probably not going to win this game. They're probably not even going to cover because I think Dwayne Haskins should be starting. I don't think this should be Case Keenum. I think you take your lumps with the rookie. They're going to put Keenum out there. Who knows how long he's going to last. But, yeah, this offense is not very good. They need to run it and run it often.
Guys, you're watching Morning Joe and the Pro. As I said, we're going to do a name change for the show, hopefully on Monday. Yesterday, I was telling you I was thinking about the President's Table and the betting edge. After doing some research on YouTube, the President's Table is not going to be good because, right now our shows do so well. So we are in the recommended section on the right. And I don't think the President's Table is going to conjure up exactly what the show is, which is a show about betting. So right now I am on the betting edge. However, I'm thinking, do we just go with the edge? Do we go with the betting edge? Or do we go with the better edge with an E and then a line through the E and an O above it and go with the pun? Matt, what do you think?
I would go with the better's edge without the pun, but I could see the pun. That works too.
Tony?
The winner's edge.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense grammatically. And it wasn't, like...
I know. It wasn't a choice, right? That's why I threw it out there.
Okay. Nobody cares about Tony's opinion on the name of my show.
I know.
San Francisco against Tampa Bay. That's the game we're going to talk about now. And man, it's jumping around, -1 for Tampa Bay, +1, -1, pick 'em. We're going with the line at -1 for Tampa Bay with an over and under of 51. And look, here's my take on this before I go to you, Tony. San Fran's a sexy team right now. San Fran is going to have some overvalued lines, if you will, at least for the first little while. This is a team that shored up its defense. This is a team that has Garoppolo coming back. And this is a team that looked good and played tough in the last half of last year, even without Jimmy. Here's my take. I think this team is a year away from doing any kind of damage. I don't know how good this quarterback really is. He's played 11 games. I can name a lot of quarterbacks that had an outstanding 11 games, and we never heard of them again. They've got a very bad... I don't want to say a bad running game because with Derek McKinnon out, I'm actually a Tevin Coleman fan, and Breida's okay, but they don't have a world-class running game. They don't have a world-class receiving game. They do have a really good tight end, but he's still a bit unproven. I think they really actually lack offense right now, but they have a great offensive mind coaching them. And hey, Garoppolo could be a monster. Who knows? I don't buy into San Fran's defense as being a top 10 defense either. And then you look at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's got a mediocre defense at best. They've got weapons in the wide receiver position, to say the least. They've got a good tight end. They've got an okay running game. I mean, this game to me comes down to how does Jameson do? And that's going to define whether they cover or they don't. I think with Bruce Arians as the coach, I think we're going to have a big season by Jameson. And I like Tampa Bay in the spot, and I like them a lot. Tony?
I think this is a game that Shanahan is focused on winning at almost all costs for several reasons. One, I can examine San Francisco. I'm not going to. They have a really good tight end. They have a quarterback that's capable, that's knowledgeable, that's tutored under the best.
Okay, so
ever,
when you go and you
opinion.
look at all the quarterbacks that have been tutored under the best ever, name one that's had a career.
Yeah. Well, here's the problem. There haven't been a lot that have gotten any kind of listen, Garoppolo at least got some.
Matt
He's got his name out there, Prez. Well, Matt Castle won several games for the Kansas City Chiefs.
And he won several games for their opponents. Jacoby Brissett, I guess we'll find out what he does this year. But being tutored under Tom Brady is no great event in your life.
Well, it's better than being tutored under Matt Castle. So let me go forward, and let me say this. I think the focus should be less on San Francisco in this game and more on Tampa Bay. And I'll say this: Tampa Bay's defense is abysmal. In fact, they took the D out of the DNA of their defense when McCoy left. They did things off season that completely baffle me. And here's the deal: is something going on in Florida where they're just basically they're just giving up and they're cashing the chips in for a draft pick? I don't have any idea, but I know this is a better team, and I think the three of us.
You mean San Francisco is a better team?
I mean San Francisco is, and I think the three of us can score on Tampa Bay. The question here is, can the 49ers overcome an 0-12 drought that the 49ers have going to the Eastern time zone? I know it's a different coach, the different team, different players. They are 0-12 going to the Eastern time zone in the last 12 games. It is a long time. It is a long way. It's much different weather in San Francisco than it is going to be in Tampa Bay this weekend. So there's some negatives to go back, and it's a tough game to play. But and again, you guys said it last one. It's week 1. But if you put a gun to my head and made me play somebody, I have absolutely no problem playing Garoppolo.
Tony,
None.
if I put a gun to your head, I'd be worried.
Well, you would probably pull the trigger.
Yeah,
some people wouldn't, but you.
Don't ever let me hold a gun to your head. Matt Joseph, what do you like in this game?
Well, I mean, Tony laid out a lot of it. The West Coast team coming east. It really does come down to Jameis. If Jameis is on, they should win this game rather easily. They should be able to get whatever they want in the passing game. Mike Evans should be open. I think every year we've said, is this the breakout year for O.J. Howard? O.J. Howard's a difference maker, but they just haven't gotten him the ball enough. Chris Godwin's a good wide receiver. I'm concerned about their backfield when you're talking about the Dare kid as being like a third down back when they've got Peyton Barber and they got the Jones kid, Ronald Jones. But yeah, Tampa Bay's defense is terrible. In a normal situation, if this wasn't week 1, I'd look at the over because I would say that both of these teams have had some reps. They've had some weeks under their belt. But I really can't even point out the over because, Jimmy Garoppolo didn't look great in the preseason. Jameis Winston's capable of throwing interceptions. This will be one of those games that I watch for future bets down the line. But yeah, this one's not going to be on my card because I don't know enough about either team, and there's better plays on the board potentially.
He's Matt.
Go
ahead, Tony. Talk.
I just want to throw one. I want to throw one thing in really quickly here. If we still have time to play futures, if you believe that San Francisco is going to remain under that 0-12 kind of East Coast jinx, San Francisco has 4 games in the Eastern time zone this year. If you believe that they can't win traveling that far, then maybe an under season win play is in order here too.
Great stuff. Tony, thanks so much for joining us. You too, Matt. I know you're busy as hell. You've got another show going on. It was a real pleasure. Guys, I'm going to just summarize the show and we'll call it a day. Both of you are gone from the screen, so hang up if you want. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Morning Joe and the Pro. Let us know your thoughts on the name change. Make sure to keep tuning in with us. It's such a pleasure having you all. Keep commenting and posting on our YouTube channel. Check me out at Prez WagerTalk on my Twitter. Don't forget to use the promo code Bobby399 for his NFL season and playoffs. That promo will not be around much longer. As well, my NFL 5-unit play. Make sure to get down on that. Use the promo code Prez20. Please check out the NFL Presidential Address with myself and Kelly, as well as the College Football Betting Show with me, Dave Koken, and Teddy Covers. I'm the Prez. Bicep pump. I'm out.